So, I love my gadgets, and I especially like my photography. So ever since my granddad left me that, it's an old box brownie for those of you of a different generation. Believe it or not, that is a camera. Actually, when I could get film for it, it still works. So it tells you, testament of how they used to build them. So I love my photography, 360-degree photography, 3D photography, aerial photography, standard photography, videography, and so forth. So it was that I was looking on one of my favourite sites, Kickstarter. I've mentioned it in other videos. Basically, I came across this thing. This thing, I don't know if you can see that, is called the AMKOV F3A. It's a bit of a mouthful. F3A AMKOV camera, and it's got a few quite good features, quite clever features. It's really what they call a selfie camera, so it's not going to compete with the likes of your Nikons or your Canons, or indeed the Sony that I'm actually recording this on. On paper, the specifications look good. So for example, it's got 5K on it down the bottom, 5K video recording, 72 megapixel I believe it goes to, and it's got all sorts of features. So it'll do time-lapse, it'll do loop recording, it's got filter effects, beauty effects, and so forth. One of the useful things I found on it, you can see that, this has actually got a background fill effect. So basically, instead of just using the flash that's got on there as normal, that is good for low light situations or for something a little bit more natural. Obviously, if you get a normal flash, which is got on it, it can be a bit brutal when it comes to some of the images. It also has 18 times zoom and all sorts of other features. So why isn't it great? Well, firstly, it's cheap. I mean, I think this cost about 60 quid, so it's not, you know, anywhere near the sort of price. I mean, the camera I'm recording on cost about £800. So by comparison, you can't expect it to be comparative. It also has a lot of things in the specs that, for those that you know what you're looking for, I wouldn't say you worry you, but it's got terms like interpolation and upscaling. So 72 megapixels, nah, it's probably, I don't know, 18 at most. And then it sort of, it kind of uses software algorithms, all sorts of things. I'm not getting technical because I don't really fully understand that. But the reality is that it cheats. It pretends that it knows that it's 72 megapixel when it's not. And I've checked the video quality and it's not really as good as I would have expected. It's not bad. The price, that's what you've got to bear in mind, the price. It's got Wi-Fi and it comes with an app, which is the eLook Pro app. It was a bit fiddly to set up. In fairness, when they first released it, no one had Wi-Fi, but put a bit of firmware on and update it and it works okay. So would I recommend it? Well, actually it says 64 megapixels, so I'm lying to you. Yes, I would, for the price. If you want something that you want to take selfies with, it's pretty good. Wouldn't expect it to, you know, if you're taking it on holiday and you're going to, I don't know, the Grand Canyon or, you know, the pyramids or whatever, I wouldn't really want this thing as my only camera. Your phone, I'm sure, has probably got better quality, but it is very light. It's quite easy to use, got lots of features, and ultimately it's cheap. So, you know, if you haven't got 800 quid to spend on a camera and you can afford less than 100, this is a good option, if I'm honest. So as I say, it's called the AMKOV F3A. You can still get them on Kickstarter. I'm not sure if these got into production yet. And yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's a nice little screen on the back. I'll try and post some images, video from it. But an alternative for those people that maybe don't need the professional cameras or are quite happy to compromise or just do selfies. It's an alternative, let's say, to taking the camera out and doing things. There you go. Up to you whether you want to look at it, but I've given you a quick overview, and as I say, I'll try and post some samples. But cheap cameras still aren't that bad, all things considered. So that's it. Have fun. Bye for now.